Hey everybody.
Good afternoon. I've been right before I opened this up, I was racking my brain because every time I open this call, I go, "Hey everyone, thanks for joining us." And I watch the recordings and it is identical every single time. I feel like if we had the millennial in or not a millennial, a Gen Z intern, they would just clip it together and be like, "Hey everyone."
Bet we could get one of those. Gen Z interns. They got nothing else going on.
Exactly. Well, hi everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today for this session. We have two great speakers who are going to talk about things that you can do at your school to really optimize your Google environment. I have a couple housekeeping things before we get started. The first is if you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat. I will be keeping an eye on that throughout the session. Our speakers will also be looking at them, but I'll make sure to get them to Lindsay and Scott throughout the conversation and then at the end during Q&A. The second thing is if you want to qualify for the coffee gift card, we're giving away $5 Starbucks gift cards to qualifying participants. You got to stick around until the end and take that exit survey. And you had to have registered with a valid school work email address. So .edu, .ky, .edu, you know, that sort of email address. So questions, chat, coffee, survey. And I'm going to pass it right on over to Scott to really kick it off.
Hey, thank you, Kate. I'm so excited to have everybody here. As we kind of begin, I'm going to jump right in, share my screen. 30 minutes is going to go quick. So let's jump into this. Can you see my screen, Lindsay?
Got it.
All right. So the thing that we're going to be talking about is things you can do to Google to the max. Now, I'll be honest with you. I think Google is so ubiquitous. A lot of these things could be, we can frame this as like how to streamline and do instructional technology to the max, in my opinion, in a lot of ways. But we're really going to be honing in on a few things that I've been super stoked to see from the Google environment that are new since recently, and Lindsay's going to do the same. As we kind of start, just to kind of introduce you to us, my name is Scott Gennard. I spent about 15 years in education. I was a special ed teacher. I was a technology coordinator. I was a middle school principal and a tech director. I was a Trafera customer for about 6 years before stepping into my role with Trafera about 2 years ago. I am blessed to work with schools in the Texas area on their instructional technology. Absolutely love what I do. Passionate about instructional technology in the classroom, and I absolutely love working with incredible people like my partner today, Lindsay.
Hi, y'all. I am from Louisiana. I have classroom experience. I was an elementary teacher with the littles for 7.5 years. And then I was a district technology facilitator doing professional development for Lafayette Parish, and then kind of kept moving up. And I finished as the supervisor of technology. You stopped sharing.
I messed you up, Lindsay. I messed you up. Keep you on your toes.
You made me squirrel. Who am I again? So I was supervisor of technology in Lafayette, and then in Louisiana, you can retire with 20 years, but it's like a teeny tiny retirement. So I did that, and I joined Trafera, and I get to go around and do PD and webinars and demos and things like that, and I love it. So I'm super happy to be here with you guys. Love the Google, love all things Google. So happy to share some of my favorite things today with you guys.
All right, jumping back into the presentation. Really want to just kind of say, and I really, like I said, I'm very proud to say that I've seen this lived out as a philosophy, but really our purpose as an organization is to improve lives and educational outcomes through technology. I think at the end of the day, that was my goal, whether I was a tech coordinator or a tech director. And I feel like that really connects with schools as well. That really, at the end of the day, the goal is to improve educational outcomes through technology and improve lives, which is amazing. The first thing I want to jump into, and we're going to jump right into this topic because it's so salient right now. Everybody is talking about security. And one of the things I want to talk about is the new features in the Google Workspace for security. As many of you know, Google has kind of been moving more and more towards motivating people to go from their free fundamentals version to some of their paid versions. And one of the things that I appreciate about that is they're really introducing things that increase the value of that paid proposition. So this is part of the Education Plus suite. There are some elements in the free version of this, but it's really, really awesome to see them integrate some of these security things directly into the Google admin workspace that we're working in so much every day. Some of the things that you see right away, there's really nice unified security dashboards where you can just see at a glance all of these key indicators throughout your district about what's happening in your district. Again, not without additional third-party apps or APIs or anything else you have to deal with. It's right there in your Google admin view. It's fantastic. It gives you that 30,000 foot view of your entire district, which I love. You also gain awesome insights, whether that's your authentication or your encryption. There's specific user interactions. There's awesome things you can do under file exposure where you can say like, okay, tag anything that it might have a social security number or a student ID or and block that from being able to be printed or shared out of the domain. You can set up rules around labels and permissions that are dynamic throughout your organization, very, very simply and easily, which I absolutely love directly out of that. There's also a direct actionable security recommendations that kind of overview your entire domain and kind of give you insights on, hey, this is what we're seeing in your Gmail usage, or here's some concerning things we're seeing in items that are being shared, or your policies that can be changed. So really, really nice overview and insights that are live as you're kind of going through. And then you can also triage those threats directly in there. You can monitor your file sharing. You can delete those malicious emails. You can do comprehensive queries across your entire domain as you're looking through different threat indicators that might have. And then you can also have the recommendations that, again, will go through your entire domain and will kind of look through best practices to kind of give you some insights on how to do that. So really cool features. There's even more. There's constantly updating. There's so many things that I can't even keep track of them all. I'm going to toss it over to Lindsay, who's going to share some of her favorite things as well.
So my favorite things have more to do on the instructional side, like things that teachers can do and use, but it's pertinent to anybody that's in the admin roles, things that you may have to turn on. And so the first one is NotebookLM. If you have not heard of it yet, you will be hearing a lot more about this. It is fantastic. This is an additional Google service, but it's free. It's for everybody. The one thing I will tell you though is if you do manage your Google admin console, you have to turn it on in your console. And so it's there. It's free, it's available, but it does need to be turned on the back end. But what you do with NotebookLM, you can upload source documents like docs, slides, PDFs, web links, and even copied text. And you dump it all into this NotebookLM, and it will pull out information. You ask the questions like, can you give me a summary? Or can you just tell me what report pulls this information, and it's going to answer those questions for you, and it's going to cite it so that you know where it pulled those answers from in the things that you gave it. You can get summaries, you can get timelines. It'll do FAQs for you. If you dump in like, hey, this is all the information for our school system, like, these are all the policies, can you give me some FAQs? And it will pull out that list so that you can post that on your webpage if you need to. As a teacher, you can dump in your information and say, can you create a study guide for this? So fantastic tool. Love that it is free. Just if you do manage that admin console, just know you do have to go turn it on. And again, right now it is for 18 plus. Okay, next one. Okay, this is something like relatively new with Drive. I love this because a lot of what we post, you have to make sure that it's accessible for everyone. And what I like wanted to do prior to this was I would go in, have my videos and try and do like a little caption. That takes forever. So if you upload a video into Google Drive, and again, this is for everybody, you can do this now with any version. If you upload a video into Google Drive, once it's in your drive, if you go to that video and right click on it, there's a option called file information. And in that link, there's manage caption tracks. If you have already typed out your caption, you can add the caption tracks there, but they now have the generate automatic caption option for you. I have selected that on the videos that I've uploaded recently. And what it does is when the player comes on, if you notice, there is on the menu at the bottom, next to the speaker icon, you have this closed captioning. When users hit that, it will generate those captions. Nothing you have to do besides say, hey, I want captions on here. Please turn this on. And it does the captioning for you. Love, love, love this. Okay.
That's so cool.
I mean, it makes it so easy. Okay, next thing we have read along. So there's an app version of this. There is a web version and there's a classroom integration. So the web version of read along is free. Anybody can use it. The classroom integration portion of this, Google Classroom integration, you have to have Workspace Plus in order to use that. But basically it's the same tool. The difference is with the classroom integration, you can actually assign books to students directly from Google Classroom when you're creating an assignment, assign the books, put it in there, and the students will have access to what they need. But y'all, if you have not seen Read Along, right now it's for grades 1 to 6, but you can pick books based on Lexile level or grade level. Some of the books have comprehension questions built in, and the way that it works is on a student device like a Chromebook, it's got that built-in microphone. Students will have the book. They will go through, they will read. The microphone picks up their reading, and if they get the words right, they get a star, and it like shows that it's right. If they get a word wrong, it does a little red line underneath. If they pause, Dia, your little friend down there, will like tell them, hey, say this. Or if they click on a word, she will read it for them so that they have that support while building their fluency. With the classroom integration, can you go to the next slide, please?
Mm-hmm.
With the classroom integration, you're going to get a report. You guys, the information that you have in this report is phenomenal, phenomenal. It will tell you their accuracy. It will show you the words that they were struggling with. It will give you the answer if they answer the comprehension questions correctly. And then it will give you like their speed, the words per minute, the fluency. It gives you a wealth of information. And what's great about the classroom piece, the integration piece with Classroom is now that Google Plus has groups in Classroom, you can easily differentiate these books and say, okay, these students are at this Lexile level. I'm going to assign this book to them. These students are at this Lexile level. I'll assign these books to them. So it is fantastic. The free version is fantastic as well. The classroom integration is just like perfection.
Well, and anytime I see stuff like this, I just put back my special ed teacher hat on, and man, for aligning goals to Lexile and fluency is kind of a pain to do without testing everything else in a dynamic way. This would have absolutely changed the game for me in my goal monitoring. So I get so excited about it.
Me too. I mean, I love reading automatically. And like, I will tell you, like normally when you get free programs with books, the books are kind of like, okay, they're all right. There are some really, really good books in there. And there's over, I want to say like over 800 books right now. There's a wide variety to choose from. There's fiction, there's nonfiction, and you can even get it in some other language. I think it's Spanish right now and maybe Portuguese, but I believe they're building out more, but it's so fantastic.
Yeah, no,
I said fantastic 85 times. Sorry. Okay, last thing that I want to talk about for this part of Google is for Gemini. And again, I'm going to tell y'all this is going to require the Gemini education subscription. but the Google Classroom integration that just rolled out for Gemini and Classroom. These are the options that you have. You can outline a lesson plan, generate a quiz, relevel text, or craft a compelling hook. Outlining a lesson plan, you just describe a topic, give it a standard, and it will give you a lesson. And then from there, with that information, you can generate a quiz from the lesson plan that you generated. Or if you just need a quiz, like I don't need a whole lesson plan, I just need a quiz, same thing. You just drop in that information, a standard topic, and it will generate a quiz for you that you can edit and use. It's so easy. It's such a time saver. The releveling text, the one thing I will tell you about this is you have to copy and paste the text to relevel it. So it's not, you can't pull in like a PDF and relevel it. Copy and paste your text and drop it in and it will relevel the text for you. But my favorite thing, can you go to the next slide, is the craft a compelling hook option. This is what it does. You do your target grade, you describe the lesson in the class, and then look at your options. What do you want to do to engage the students? Do you want them to spark curiosity? So if I'm talking about the water cycle and evaporation, I can describe that there for fourth graders and then say spark curiosity. And we did it earlier and it pulled up something about a watermelon and the water in the watermelon. I don't remember what it was, but it was just like, I've never would have come up with that. So it really does a good job of like giving you things that are a little bit outside of the box, but ways to spark curiosity or just give them a surprising fact about things or come up with a thought-provoking question before you start a lesson. Love this option. I think it is fantastic. Oh, phenomenal. I'm going to stop saying fantastic.
Something I'm constantly struck by, like I've only been outside of living the day-to-day life of K-12 for 2 years. And just how dynamically things have shifted in that time is just absolutely crazy. And to
Yep.
see stuff like this just to improve the quality of life, it's so exciting to see. Even within this world, I feel like I step out just for a few weeks and I can learn so many different things. It's just so cool.
Yep. And I see the question in the chat from Jenny. Is this Gemini like how AI helps teachers create plans and stuff, but using Google? Yes. Gemini is Google's version of AI, and they have the subscription that you can buy. It's built in to like Drive, Gmail, Sheets. Like you can put it in Sheets and like ask Sheets to come up with a formula. I actually did that the other day, helping my husband with something. Asked Gemini to come up with the formula because there was no way I was coming up with it on my own. And it generated what I needed so fast. So it's built in, but you need the subscription for that. But there is the Gemini app that is free if you just go to gemini.google.com, and you can work with your prompts in there to come up with like lessons and activities and things like that. It's great.
So cool. I love all the new tools and resources that are coming out for teachers. And that's why one of the things that gets me fired up are Chromebook Plus opportunities. One of the things that I talk with districts a lot about, and I'm seeing a lot of excitement around, are these new enhanced Chromebooks that Google is offering, really targeting for like the teacher and the admin. So that it really becomes more than just a student device. And I think what's really, really cool about that is you get all the simplicity of deploying your Chromebooks, having that single system ecosystem with all of the increased functionality of higher RAM devices, bigger hard drive, faster processor speeds, bigger screens on the devices, with all of the conveniences and the security that come with the Chromebook line. I know for me, I tried back years ago to kind of go all Chrome, and I just couldn't. Just the options we had were just not beefy enough. Trying to give my teachers student devices just didn't work. And so now that they have these awesome resources and tools, and some of them are absolutely game changing with their convenience, that I get super, super excited when I see something like that that kind of changes the dynamic in the classroom and a new resource for us to use. So super, super cool. Toss it back to you, Lindsay.
So I was going to say, on those lines, we were with a district that was piloting Chromebook Pluses with their teachers and listening to the feedback from the teachers. it's seamless. Like it is like you have the same device as your students. And so like when you're telling them to do something or when you're asking them for something or they're asking you for help, it's not, well, let me look at your device and figure it out. I have the same exact device as you. So it like within minutes, I can tell you, oh, look, this. Or we even had a teacher say, well, when she was learning hers, you know, it's a little bit different than a Windows device. So she was having her little learning curves. Her students were helping her saying, oh, this is what you do. This is how you do that. So that by itself is phenomenal. But you also got, you know, what's so fantastic about the Chromebooks is you've got the battery life, which is outstanding. You cannot compare to a laptop. The Chromebook batteries just last forever. And then like the boot time, when you turn on your laptop in the morning and you sign in, you have to stand there and wait for it to load and pull all the things. With a Chromebook, you open it up, sign in, and you're ready to go. Like it is the wait time to begin instruction is cut by 90% with a Chromebook. So
Well,
it
even,
definitely
like,
has.
installing updates and stuff like that, just like with the student devices, you know, I mean, I run into that with my Windows work device where sometimes you open it up and it says needs to shut down for updates for in 5 minutes or something like that.
Mhm.
Completely
Yeah.
avoids all of that. No, I love talking to districts about this. I see this kind of increasing more and more in the conversation.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, no, it makes so much sense to me.
Yep. And I will tell you, I'm on my Chromebook Plus right now. Like it is my favorite to use just because everything I do is in Google anyway. So it just makes the most sense for me. I can charge it tomorrow and have it work tomorrow, Friday, and then probably even Saturday. And that's with me working quite a bit. Maybe not all day Friday, but you know what I mean.
I have a
Um,
lot of tech envy that you got one of those and I didn't, Lindsay, but I'm working on getting over it.
Listen, and it's a touch screen and I have a
Yeah,
stylus. Not to
let's
rub it
move
in or
on.
anything. Okay, but let me tell you some of my favorite things with the Chromebook that you get with the Chromebook. First thing is your screencasting ability. And y'all, this is on the Chromebook Plus, but it is also on student Chromebooks as well, where there's a screencasting app. You can pin it down. It makes doing screen recordings super duper easy. You can do your webcam, you can do your voice, you can annotate on the screen quickly and easily. And then what's even more fantastic, I'm sorry, I said it again. What's even more amazing is that once it's done, once you have your screen recording, when you go to view it in your files, you're going to have a screencasting folder. When you open up those screencasts, those transcripts are automatically generated for you as well. It's right there, all of the things that you said. And then I will tell you, you can edit by if I'm in the middle of speaking and I realize I just said this is fantastic again and I want to take that out, I can pull out text and it will actually edit the video. Now, it's not like fancy editing where it's going to transition and fade and all that, but you can quickly and easily kind of edit the screencast if you need to. So, love that you have that ability built into Chromebooks for you and for your students. But on the Chromebook Plus, it's phenomenal. And one other thing I'll tell you that's not in here, with the camera app that comes on the Chromebooks, you have the ability to do pictures and images and you can scan QR codes and things like that. The video option in the camera tool will let you record your own GIFs or GIFs, however you say it. I am a big fan of creating my own GIFs of myself doing things and putting them into my slideshows. I did not do that here just because I was trying to be professional, Lindsay, but I love doing it. So that's one of my favorite things. Okay, next slide. Okay, the other thing. So I'm just going to give you a little insight into Lindsay. I typically have like 85 tabs open at one time because I've got like so
Guilty.
many things going on. I think it's everybody. It's not just me. Just if it's not, y'all just say it and make me feel better about myself. But on my Chromebook, you can do multiple desks. And so you'll see when I'm working on presentations, I can have a desk just for presentations and I've got the tabs open that I need there. And then if I'm working on projects or if I have my work stuff, like my email, my calendar, Google Keep, because I use Google Keep all the time to make notes for things, I can have that. And then I'm not looking at a window with 85 tabs trying to figure out what I'm trying to do. If I know I'm working on my presentation, I go to my presentation desk, and it's super easy. You just use the Windows key on your keyboard at the very top. It's the square with the 2 lines, and it shows the desks that you have open, and you can go back and forth between them, and you can create as many as you need. So I think for a teacher, what you can do with this is like your different periods. I may not teach the same thing every period, and I don't want to have all those tabs open for the whole day. So I can have period 1, this is what I need for period 1. Period 2, this is what I need. And I can switch back and forth between them. And it just makes that clutter so much cleaner.
Yeah, for teachers, and even when I was a principal, like there's things that like I wanted, like, okay, let me have something for when I'm doing observations, or let me have something for when I'm doing a board presentation. I'm putting stuff for the board or whatever it might be. And that's so cool. And I used to have all sorts of different ways, but I could just imagine just being able to be like, oh, this is a cool thing on the fly. Let me toss that over to my board presentation workspace, or let me toss that over to my SLT leadership workspace. Just can do that and think about that is so nice, and just kind of framing my own thinking and process throughout the day. And like you said, I was a high school teacher. I would have loved this for, hey, here's my algebra 2 coursework, and here's my different classes like that. Absolutely phenomenal. Love it.
Okay, and one more thing I'm going to talk about, and that's going to be accessibility. Excuse me, accessibility tools on the Chromebooks. And again, I'm on my Chromebook Plus. This is on all Chromebooks. You can turn it on so that when you're on a Chromebook and you just click in the bottom corner where the time is, all of your accessibility features are there. This is the instructions for how to do that. You just tell it to show in quick settings in your Chrome settings. And then next slide. There's so many tools that are built in. So when you click on the time, you've got that accessibility. And this is just some of them. I'm going to tell you, for students on a student device, turning this on for them and letting them pull on the things that they need, like the magnifier, select to speak, where they can highlight text and it will read it to them. Color correction, if you have students that are colorblind, whether it's red colorblind, green colorblind, it'll let them pick what they want. And then when they turn it on, it will fix the color on the Chromebook. So lots of built-in accessibility tools. And the great thing about it is when you turn it on, it's tied to that account. So any Chromebook that the student goes to, those settings that they have preferred or that they have turned on will be there for them. I like accessibility tools for me because I like dictation. So in Google Docs, I know you can do the voice texting, and that is like my best friend. I use that all the time, especially when we're doing like scripting for things, because I want my scripting to be natural. And so I'll turn on voice recording and I'll just talk about like, hey, I'm showing you how to do screencasting in Google on your Google Chromebook, and here's what you're going to do. And I have my script and I can clean it up. But like for email, sometimes I'm lazy and I don't want to type and I have a lot to say. So with my Chromebook, I just turn on dictation, click in my email browser, click to type, and then I just start talking, and then I can clean it up if I need to. It just, like, there's so many things in there, and I don't think a lot of people know about the accessibility. Let's try that again. Accessibility features built into your Chromebooks that are there for you and for your students. So take a minute and take a look at those, because there's some phenomenal ones in there.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely amazing. And like I just said in the chat thing, a lot of these things are amazing for teachers, but also for for students, but also for your teachers. You know, maybe they struggle with dyslexia, or maybe they just are tired of typing all day, or maybe they, you know, I mean, I'm not as young as I used to. Sometimes having a magnifier is nice to highlight those things. So absolutely awesome. I do want to, as we kind of wrap up, a couple things that we want to talk about here is something that is amazing. We have a new team that has joined the Trafera team that is absolutely fantastic, that has incredible technical skills and experience to kind of give you feedback and kind of give you that higher level of support that we are so excited for. And one of the things that they offer is a Google Workspace domain audit. This is amazing to overview. Many times, I know I was guilty of this. You have those users who haven't taught in your district for 10 years, or there's students who graduated in 2017. Being able to get an audit that will give you a comprehensive overview with all of your with your domains, your OUs, your user accounts, your security risks. You know, sometimes you might have 20 people with super admin access. All those things they will reveal, and they will make recommendations on how you can improve that. It's absolutely amazing. If you have not had an audit done in a couple of years, I highly, highly recommend uh, getting one done, especially in this day of so much
Mhm.
security, cybersecurity concerns, or just to assess, is your school district ready for Gemini and AI and all of that stuff. So please talk to us about that. Also, if you were interested in some of these features that we talked about today uh, on the Education Plus environment, the security domains or the enhanced teaching and learning features, or some of the integrations that they have, right now there is offering a 60-day free trial, which is super, super cool. This is fantastic. If you have a team of trainers or a team of teachers that you'd like to explore those benefits with, I would love to kind of work with you to make sure that you have what you need to get that going. And we also do a monthly admin briefing. As you guys know, I don't need to tell you, Google changes stuff so quickly. It's incredible, all the new things they are coming with. We offer a comprehensive monthly briefing that kind of delves into all the new things that you need to know about. And it is amazing how many new things are coming out constantly. So please make sure that you join us. We have the links in the chat uh, that are accessible. Thank you for that, Kate. But yeah, absolutely awesome. I do want to thank you so much for your time. We do have a survey that Kate's going to be popping up right now. Remember, you do have to fill out the survey to get your
Coffee.
Starbucks coffee card. I don't know why my brain just shut down, but that's how it goes.
Because
But
you need
it's
your coffee.
absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us, Lindsay. As always, loved speaking with you. Thank you so
Right
much.
back at you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything to address with everybody, Kate?
What was that?
Anything to finish us out, Kate?
Well, sure, I can talk while everyone's filling out that survey. So I'm just gonna give you a little update on some of the coffee and combos that we have coming up. We have a ton in after between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So the first one is gonna be a session on the 3rd, and it is about a Windows 10 going end of life. So we're gonna talk about some of the considerations that you should be thinking about as that form that OS goes out of life, and thinking about Windows 11. That's going to be with our partner Lenovo. The day after that, on December 4th, if you're interested in hearing a little bit more about Chromebook Plus and you're kind of thinking about it for your teachers, or just kind of want a recap and expansion of what Scott and Lindsay were saying about Chromebook Plus today, we're going to do a session called Wait, Chromebooks are for teachers now? And that's going to be on December 4th. And then a really exciting session on December 10th with Holly Clark, keynote speaker Holly Clark. She is going to do a chat with us about AI in Google. So we're going to look at Gemini education, and we're going to look at NotebookLM in deeper detail. And that is going to be a really good time. And then finally, on December 11th, we have a session for those really interested in STEM gadgets, STEM gear. We're going to talk to TLC Anna about the photon coding robot and how that can address all sorts of coding and robotics needs that your school might have in all grade levels and for all learners. So that's going to be a lot of fun. If you want to look at those sessions yourself, I'll put a link to our events page in the chat. We'd love for you to join those. There's coffee at all of them. At that one on the 3rd, the one about Windows 11, we're actually giving away a monitor also, a portable monitor, the same one that I use. It's really great. So sign up for that one. It's actually not on the events page, but you'll get the invite if you got this invite. So keep an eye out for that. All right, long-winded. Thanks for filling out that survey. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Lindsay, for presenting. But mostly, thank you all of our presenters for being here. We are so grateful that you're willing to spend your time with us. I know we're all busy, so thank you. And we will see you at some of our upcoming sessions. All right.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Bye now.